Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyimla, Yahweh, H.I.M, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chahakadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, led by the Spirit, taught us His beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Ahwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yahanan Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And wanted to touch on overall slavery, because when you have a kingdom, someone must rule and someone must be ruled over. It's just that simple. You can't have a ruler without people to rule over. It's just, you can't have a master without a slave. You can't have up without down. Can't have wet without dry. You can't have fast without slow. Can't have empty without full. The Lord created everything in twos, right? So let's go into the scriptures on that, because the reason why I want to do this lesson by the Spirit is because, you have these so-called white people and mainly our people, so-called blacks. They can't fathom the so-called white man going into slavery like how he put us into slavery. They can't fathom us being over them. They don't want no parts of it. They want to save the so-called white man. But the scriptures clearly says, let me go into it. There's no saving the so-called white race, man. They're going to pay for what they've done to the children of Israel. Right? So Revelation 13. Let's start at verse 9. Set it all up. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So the Lord created everything in twos. You can't have captives without a captor. You see what I'm saying? Because the Lord created everything in twos, and that's what I want to, kind of focus on here. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33. Let's start at verse 13. And the Lord, He set this all up, man. There's nothing that you can do to get outside of what the Lord set up. The Lord set up kingdoms, man. With kingdoms, again, there comes rulers. The king has subjects. It's just that simple. The same way that the so-called white man is ruling right now in his kingdom is the same way we're going to rule in our kingdom. So somebody got to play the roles of slave, and somebody got to play the roles of master. Right now, we're playing the role of slaves. They're playing the role of masters. What's so wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Like how can you not get that? Then you'll have our people, trying to cut our goddamn throat, talking about that wouldn't make us no different than them. With all this, I just had somebody on the comment board talking about how the things that I'm saying will only divide us. Like, motherfucker, we ain't never been together. The fuck you mean divide? And again, that's a 2 and 2 right there too. Divide and together, right? So let's start at verse 13. Ecclesiasticus 33 and 13, also known as the book of Sirach in the 1611 King James Bible, as declares in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. The point, verse 15 right here. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. You can't get around that. Verse 14 again, it says, good is set against evil. That's a 2 and 2. Good, evil, right? Life against death. You can't have life without death. That's a 2 and 2. So is the godly against the sinner. That's another 2 and 2. And the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. You can't have negative without positive. You can't have up without down, sky without ground. And I'm not trying to rhyme, but I'm just saying, like, everything has a complete opposite to it. Why? Because the Lord is a complete balance. Let's get that. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight. See that? To have life without death, that would be an imbalance to the Lord. That would be an abomination to the Lord. You can't have one without the other. It's just that simple, man. The Lord created it that way. You just can't get around it, man. I mean, you know, you could get pissed about it, but the scriptures is the scriptures. But this is just plain common sense science from the so-called white man's science data. He even knows that. So when it comes out of the scriptures, what's this big problem about the so-called white man going into captivity the same way that he led us into captivity? What's so wrong with that? Our people would prefer this man continue to rule over us, man, forever. They don't want nothing to do with royalty. They don't want anything to do with kingdomship, man. They prefer to just be subjects. You see? And you can't say that you're not no goddamn slave, because you're not leaving. I'm using America as an example. You're not leaving America without the so-called white man's permission. You can cut that shit out. They would throw your ass in jail. Try it. Try it. Try and build your own damn airplane if you had the knowledge. He's holding on to even that type of knowledge. He won't even allow you to even study into nothing like that, really. You know what I'm saying? He put you through all kinds of hell trying to become a person that want to start an airplane company. You think Michael Jordan, if Michael Jordan wants to get together with Oprah, all these rich-ass NFL players, you know, all these rich-ass LeBrons, they could put all them together and they try and start an airplane service. You think the so-called white man going for that shit? Are you crazy? They'll put them through all kinds of hell. They can have the best scientists. They can have the best, people to put together the project. They're not about to allow no so-called blacks to fucking get their hands on no technology and get to talking about building no damn Boeings, man. The fuck out of here. You're not building no rockets to go to space. They're not about to allow you to do that, man. It's a lock you for the language. You know, you just got to stress some things to Jake in a harsh way, man, because that's the only way Jay get it. You're not leaving America, and I'm using America as an example. You're not leaving here without this man's passport. You're going to need his ID. You're going to need to actually probably go to the doctor and roll your damn sleeves up and take a bunch of goddamn boosters. He going to check your goddamn luggage in. He going to tell you what you can bring in and back out. He's going to actually timestamp your passport and tell your ass when you better be back here. And by the time, say you land in another country, guess what? Your ass is not in control there neither. They're going to check your passport. Oh, well, sir, you know, you've overstayed your visa. No, you're not doing anything in this planet without this man's permission like that. You need his driver's license to drive. You need his car insurance. You need his plates. You need his tabs. Certain states, emission tests. Right? You need all this man's credentials. You have to go to this man's schools. He's setting up the curriculum for you to learn to actually be an electrician or even a damn barber. A person that's doing some damn nail tech. A mechanic. You can be the best mechanic in the world, but try and open up a shop on your own. And you don't have this man's permits, his licenses. Try any of that. You can't even build matter of fact, you don't even own a damn home. Even if you pay it off, you're still going to pay land taxes. But let's just say you want to add an additional room to your home. You can't do that without his permission. Come on, bro. Anyway, point is made on that. Let's get Proverbs 11:1 again. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. I don't get why our people just can't understand that the Lord set this man up in power and that the Lord is going to take this man out of power and set us up in power. He done it for them. Why wouldn't he do it for us? This man is playing out his time period, man. He's in that fourth beast, strong as shit. Like I was listening to the Elder Malcolm earlier. He was like, man, America don't have a whole bunch of tomorrows. And he's right. This place is through. It's done. This man's kingdom is about to fall. As a matter of fact, let's get Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. I think it's in verse 25 as well. Read about the same, but it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So he set these people up. Why can't he take them down? He took us down. Why can't he set us up? See those 2 and 2s? The Lord created everything in 2s, man. So, I was listening to the apostles earlier, and it, it just kind of hit me like, okay, so if the Lord created everything in 2s and 2s, and actually the scriptures clearly says that the Lord is going to come and rule. Who you think he's going to rule over? See, Christianity done gave the people this mindset that all nations are going to be hand in hand. They give you these, like those Jehovah's Witness pamphlets and shit where they have, every damn nation of kids holding hands on them little pamphlets. Nah, man, it's not going to be like that, man, in the kingdom, man. These people are ruling over us, and these other nations are helping the so-called white man. You think the so-called Chinese people don't want nothing to do with you Negroes? They come to your neighborhood, they set up shop, they sell you some goddamn pigeon and what you probably think is some damn chicken fried rice or some shit. He comes set up shop, he get his money, he go back to where the fuck he live around his people. He's not yoing with you. Same thing with the so-called Japanese. So same thing with the so-called Arabs, Ishmaelites, and whoever the fuck else. Same thing with these Hamites. These goddamn Africans that they want to lump us up together with, knowing full well we're not the same people. Those nations don't want nothing to do with you. The Psalms 83, it names off the nations that's the enemies of the Lord. Those people are going into captivity, bro. It's that simple. We're going to be over them like how they were over us. We're going to make the rules. We're going to make the regulations, man. They're going to learn our language. They're going to learn our curriculum. They're going to learn the 10 commandments and all the laws, man. And we're going to put it on their ass when they break them. Just like they put it on our ass when we break their laws. You're not in control of no law, man. You don't have no situation where you have a country and people are checking in with their passports at your shit, and you asking them how long is their stay? You've overstayed your visa. No, you don't have no military. You don't have nothing to push, nothing like that. You don't have your own currency. Here you go. You got the so-called black man out here killing his own people over some money with the so-called white man face on it. That show you your ass is in slavery. Anyway, man, kind of I got lost my little train of thought on what I was about to grab just now. Anyway, I mean, the point is made, though, really, in reality. I mean, I just wanted to just touch on that, because the Christian church really has given this mindset that this so-called white guy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, he's coming back to save everybody. He just loves everything. He loves everybody. You're already saved by grace. You don't have to do no work. You can just be as wicked as you want. You can be as nasty as you want. You can eat whatever you want. You can do, you can commit adultery. You can rob people. You can do whatever you want. You're already saved by grace. This is what this man is telling you. He's good all the time. But they're not telling you. Let's get this Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Christian church not telling you that the Lord created good and evil. They're not telling you that the Lord, he created spirits for vengeance. See, like that little school shooting. Matter of fact, I just had the picture up. Here go the little white chick right here. It says, chilling pic shows Natalie Rumpnow, 15, at a gun range wearing shirt linked to Columbine shooters. She's 15 at the gun range. This is Esau. These are Edomites. What does the scripture say about Esau? It says that he's a cunning hunter, that he would live by the sword. That's their sword. And you know what? This is like a double up of the wickedness in America. Or basically the Lord, the Lord got a sense of humor, man, because first off, he's showing that these people are violent as hell, even through their girls. And these women were very violent during slavery as well. And those were, they back on earth again. But these were some probably the most violent of the so-called white race was the so-called white woman towards our people. They don't really tell those parts of slavery where they own slaves as well. And then you'll see little shows or movies where they'll show where so-called white woman or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She'll be done ran up on a mandingo trying to get some rod, and then she'll threaten to tell, you know, her people that she's been raped if he don't give her no rod. So they was getting rod from Jake, big time. They actually got that episode, well, not episode, they got the part in this Mandingo movie where the so-called white woman, she was at the slave auction block trying to buy her a Mandingo, the guy that played the main part. She was all up on the stage. She walked up on the stage. She was all off in his pants, grabbing his rod. And the dudes was like, my God, woman, some shit like that. You know, because she ain't had no shame. She was rolling through to grab up, you know, she was getting her some male slaves to pound her down. It ain't no different than today. That's like this one chick that supposedly, the so-called white woman that supposedly slept with 101 dudes in one day, 24 hours. Them the same people back on Earth again. You look at some of those old Westerns. I used to like watching Gunsmoke with my grandfather. But any of those Westerns, you know, they got good Western channels and shit like that, where they got new school Westerns, you know, because they making Westerns all the time. But when you look at those Westerns, who was in the brothels? You didn't see no so-called blacks, Hispanics, or Native American women, you know what I'm saying, in those movies like that. Generally, when you went into a town, they had what they call brothels or whorehouses. They was all so-called white women. Getting it in with whoever came in on a horse, carriage, or train. And they're no different today. But they put them up here with this blonde hair, you know what I'm saying? And they place, because see, they run the world. They've been able to push through the media that they are the look. And that if you don't look, and you see our women, the so-called black woman, she running around with a goddamn blonde wig on her head right now. Looking doofy as hell. That is the worst color, hair color that a so-called black woman can ever wear. That shit just don't even, I just say, every time I see, I don't give a fuck how fine she is. That's a real turn off. But she's trying to be like Massa. Right? But anyway, let's get this other one. Let me get Amos 3 and verse 6. And again, like I said, the Lord created everything in twos, man. And he's going to take these people out of power, and then we're going to go in power. And guess what? The roles are going to be reversed. And the Lord said, give them double. So ain't no telling, man. When the Lord placed his spirit on us, man, them laws, statutes, and commandments are written on our minds and hearts, man. And we know what real, true righteousness is, and what real, true anger, righteous anger is. Because we're going to have super duper righteous anger. Because we're going to be able to actually visualize and know to what extent these people have really treated us like, you know. See, we see little movies. We get a little hint of, you know, we experience racism. You know, we're living in this day and time where we don't know all the brutalities behind the scenes that these people are actually done, man. And they're going to have to pay for that shit. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? See? Don't let these Christians fool you into thinking that the Lord loves everything, man. The Lord is the one that's out here. The Lord is the one that set this chick up right here to blow those other people away. The Lord done that. Right? Because what the scripture says, it says that the Lord kills, he makes alive. He wounds and he heals. Neither is there anyone that can deliver out of his hand. Roughly paraphrasing. So he set that spirit of vengeance upon this little chick right here to run off in that school, 15 years old, and blow their asses away. So this is what we've been dealing with, you know. But like I said again, I think it's ironic that the Lord will show how vicious this man is through even his women. As young as this woman is, she should be somewhere being, you know. Matter of fact, she should have been already prepped to be married with children. And supposedly she done deleted all these people and deleted herself. They're dying off quicker than they're being born, but you got all this violence, white on white violence going on. And they don't talk about it like that. See, they talk about black on black crime this, black on black crime that. But man, come on, bro. Some of the bloodiest white on white crimes was World War I, World War II, and now World War III coming. You already got Russia crushing Ukraine over there. You know what I'm saying? Ukraine killing Russians. American troops are being knocked off too. So that third war is going to be deadly, man. And you're about to see a full-fledged civil war in this country right here. So-called white man don't care about his own people, man. The Lord created him to be the wicked. It just is what it is. So his little reign is riding out, man. Just got to accept it, man. Accept it. You so-called black people that want to stick up for these people, the Lord going to knock your ass off too. You ain't got to worry about it. He going to get you too. You want to link up with them? You don't want to accept his word? You don't want to accept his discipline or his reproof? All right, well, he got something for you. He going to use them very same white people that your ass running in behind, trying to please. You out here fighting with the men of the Lord on the highways and byways about trying to save these people. You'll see. Anyway, just wanted to chop it up on that real quick, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. With that, Kwam Yashala and the Bible Ball. Keep on praying for this shit to fall, because it's working. Esau, you're not getting away with what you've done, man. It is what it is, man. So with that, Shalom.